So thanks very much for offering to do this testimonial, Adrian, for Breathe Hypnotherapy.
No
Now,
worries.
you had a bit of a problem with public speaking, as I understand it. It was quite severe. Can you tell me a little bit about what it was like?
Yep, sure. Yeah, I mean, I've had this issue. Well, I'm 48 now, and I've had the problem since like early 20s, when I started having these panic attacks in like work meetings, corporate meetings. So I just have all these weird, I'd have, yeah, all these symptoms like tunnel vision, unable to speak, and freezing up. And then it just compounded over many, couple of decades. And yeah, so it's just basically speaking in groups, in meetings. I'd basically have these whole reactions where I would, not unable to speak properly, and yeah, so yeah, so it's been a long time.
Because a lot of people have that fear. Like the joke is, I think it's Billy Connolly's joke. Most people would rather be in the grave than giving the eulogy. That the fear of public speaking is that high. And it's normal, and it affects people in all sorts of different areas, So it's not just because most people kind of think, oh, well, it's just a thing that I have, but they don't have to have it. That's what people don't realize. And it
Mm,
impacts, in job interviews, in promotions. So it's
mm,
impacting even relationships. So it's potentially influencing people in every area of their life, and they don't have to put up with it.
mm,
Because I mean, what sort of things did you try in the past just so people understand how
I
effective
just,
this is, what we do?
yeah. Well, I've tried lots of things. I tried cognitive behavioral therapy. I thought, a lot of different psychology, like psychiatrists, psychologists, different medications like beta blockers, different antidepressants, things to regulate your heart rate. I even tried like some EMDR recently, non-duality, even my Qigong stuff. And look, a lot of that, it's helped a bit, but it never went to the root of it. It never really got into the programming, because I sense that, like, when I go into this situation, it's an automatic program that kicks off that I have no power to stop. So I sensed
Mm.
that was happening, and it was for decades I've been just trying to front up and expect it's going to be different, and it gets triggered again. So yeah, I tried lots of things. Mm.
Yeah, and what's happened since you did so we did one session, and what's
Yeah,
happened since that session
yeah.
in your public
So,
speaking?
well, it's been a profound. I teared up a little bit the other day because it's been a profound shift after, just from the one session. It felt like it's gone into the programming, and it's almost like it's sort of wiped the old conditioning in that situation. So now I go into it, and the symptoms don't kick off. So like for the first couple of times I was thinking, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? But it doesn't really happen. So it's actually gone in there and unhooked or wiped the old response, which I'm just blown
Mm.
away by, and I'm really, really
Mm.
grateful.
And how many times have you tested it since the session with real tests in public speaking?
I've tested it maybe 3 or 4 times in some small
Yeah,
meetings, and
yeah.
so, but I'll continue to.
So do you kind of recognize now that that's a permanent shift? Because that's the other thing that's important too, that you recognize that that's done
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I sort of the fear is gone, and like the fear around, because mainly it's the fear of it happening, and so I'm rocking up now, and that really fear isn't really there.
Mm.
So yeah, there's a lot more confidence with it, and yeah, just a lot of relief, really.
Yeah. So you'd obviously recommend Breathe Hypnotherapy to help people with public speaking, I'd
Oh
imagine.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I know there's some people out there that might be suffering with this thing, and this thing caused me a 20-year depression and darkness
Mm.
and suicidal stuff. So that's how heavy this issue was for me. So yeah, this is a game changer, doing that session, to whatever you did with the reprogramming the subconscious, because that's where the root of the problem was, and that's unhooked it. And yeah,
Mm.
so I highly recommend. Yeah, you don't have to
Thanks,
struggle with it. Yeah.
All
Mm.
right, brilliant. Thanks very much for that. I really appreciate it.
No problem.